XCloud is coming to virtual reality, we got a quick peek at what a Gamepass deal costs, and what's Xbox Keystone. We're going to be breaking it all down in today's video, so let's get to it. We're kicking things off by talking about Xbox Keystone. You may have seen my short video about it yesterday, but I want to discuss it a little more in depth here. Phil Spencer recently tweeted his ever-famous gaming shelf, and this time it had a very interesting looking device at the very top. People were very quick to point out that that is the prototype for Project Keystone. Confirmation did come from Tom Warren himself, who's senior editor at The Verge. The device itself is said to be a console built specifically to take advantage of XCloud and local streaming through remote play. Interestingly enough, when this was first leaked, there were some specifications that are of note, such as the device supporting 4K HDR along with the price tag of $99 that includes an Xbox controller. Obviously, this is all subject to change, and it should be taken as such because it is a prototype after all. That said, I think it paints a pretty good picture of where Microsoft wants to head with XCloud. And make no mistake, this is no accident that it's being brought up right now. Phil Spencer did not forget to take this off his shelf before sharing a photo. But what it does imply is that hopefully we might be hearing more about their current prototype and maybe what's coming to market real soon. Another important detail about Keystone that was leaked a few months back is that it also supported being able to play owned games on Xbox. That means being able to play purchased games rather than just having to rely on Game Pass's library. This is a feature that Xbox has already stated is on its way and should be rolling out sometime soon. If you ask me, there's a few too many coincidences lining up here. I for one cannot wait to see 4K streaming though, because my biggest complaint is the bitrate of 1080p. All things considered though, once they support 4K streaming, a library of games at a subscription cost, and the ability to play your own purchase games, they'd be in a perfect spot to really capitalize on all the users who are leaving Stadia for another platform. But what are your thoughts? Do you think we'll see Keystone sometime soon? Let me know down below. Next up, let's talk about XCloud being supported in VR. Yes, that's right, Xbox Cloud Gaming will be coming to virtual reality via the Meta Quest. This was confirmed at the latest Meta Connect event, in which they have announced a partnership with Microsoft. This mainly revolved around being able to use the Microsoft Office suite and Microsoft Teams while in virtual reality, but they did confirm that XCloud will be getting support as well. Now, as somebody who's really big into VR, I can tell you right now that this is already possible with some workarounds, but it'll be very nice to have official support coming directly from Microsoft. And I gotta say, it's a pretty great experience being able to have your Quest headset on and playing on the cloud on a theater-like screen. It really does work surprisingly well. But more important than that, I think it signifies that XCloud really is going to be accessible almost everywhere. It's officially supported on TV set-top boxes. They're going to be making the Project Keystone so you can hook it up to whatever you want. You can use it on iOS and Android, your Xbox console, and soon virtual reality. They're really checking off almost every form of media consumption there is. I've said it plenty of times before, and I'll say it here again. Convenience is an integral part of growing adoption for cloud gaming. And if any of you are from the VR space, you'll know this lesson all too well. Virtual reality took some time to actually get adopted by your casual consumer. I was there when the DK1 was a thing. I still remember picking up my Oculus Rift, but the truth is that it sucks having to be tethered to a very expensive gaming PC just to use it. The MetaQuest introduced an all-in-one device that was just simply you put it on and you play, and because of that, it exploded in popularity. Content is always king in my books, but convenience is certainly a key. You need to have a mix of both to truly capture consumers, and I think XCloud's step into VR, along with all other forms of media consumption that there is out there, is a smart move. Now let's wrap things up by talking about the last Xbox story today, and that has to do with Game Pass and a title called Ark Survival Evolved. It's rare that we get to ever see how much it really costs Sony and Microsoft to bring games over to Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. But due to the SEC filing for September, we got to see exactly that. It turns out Sony paid $3.5 million to make Ark Survival Evolved a March PlayStation Plus title, and Microsoft paid $2.5 million to keep it on Game Pass for the first half of this year, along with $2.3 million to bring Ark 2 to the service when it launches. I've already seen a few people talk about how Sony got the short end of the stick here, but I really want to point out that these are two very different things. Ark being part of the base PlayStation Plus subscription means that it was accessible by a lot more subscribers. Not to mention, the game is permanently theirs as long as they stay subscribed. For Game Pass, it's a very different deal as the game will eventually leave, and Game Pass doesn't have as many subscribers as the base PlayStation Plus. That is by no means a knock on Xbox, by the way. I just want to point out that there are two very different values at play here, which means it's best not to compare them directly, but you can take the numbers individually and see how much it really cost them. Now, one thing of note that I do want to point out is that I find it extremely odd that Ark 2 being brought to Game Pass on launch only costed $2.3 million in comparison to $2.5 million to keep the first title on Game Pass for the first year. That definitely makes me think that Microsoft has some sort of other deal with the developers to make this happen, because the game is also exclusive to Xbox and PC at launch. Or maybe this is just the upfront cost to get them on board, and they'll also be getting paid for the amount of playtime players game. In all honesty, I'm actually kinda surprised at how cheap it is to onboard games like this. I really thought it would cost much more. I don't have too much more to add to this other than it's cool to really see these numbers being shared, but let me know what you think. Is Ark worth $2.3 million? Truth be told, I've always had struggles trying to run that game on pretty much every platform it's available on, so I'm not sure, but hey, maybe Ark 2 will definitely be a surprise. And with that, we've wrapped up this Cloud Gaming News Day. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related. And until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.